morning, good evening, good afternoon, depending on your time zone. The title of this session is Battle Royale Azure Logic Apps versus Power Automate. Who am I? My name is Prashant G. Boyer. I was born and raised in India. I came to United States in 2007 for studies. I'm a University of Maryland College Park alumni. I co-authored a book, PowerShell for Office 65. I also acted as a technical reviewer for the book Pro SharePoint 2013 Administration. I am from Washington DC area of United States, and pre-COVID-19 pandemic, we used to organize a lot of in-person conferences. Since the COVID-19 pandemic has started, we have converted all our conferences to virtual only, and we broadcast the information about upcoming conferences on various meetups that we have. And we have meetups on various product categories or areas. We have meetup on AI, machine learning, Microsoft 65, big data and SQL, and couple of events that are or conferences that are coming up in near future is one is Global AI Fest, which we are planning to organize on 25th of June. The second is going to be Global Azure Data and AI Fest, which is going to be in November, and we are also finalizing the date for M65 Baltimore event. And most likely all these conferences are going to be virtual only. So feel free to check us out on meetup.com if you are interested in joining us. I am recipient of Antarctic Service Medal. And since 2017, I'm also recipient of Microsoft MVP Award. Now, those of you who are not familiar with this award, I don't work for Microsoft. It's just the additional recognition that Microsoft gives out to the folks who does technical contributions in various product areas. And these technical contributions can be writing blog posts, creating training content, answering people's questions on various public forum, providing direct feedback to the Microsoft product group, or speaking at conferences. And this award is only valid for 12 months. And after 12 months, you have to again apply for renewal. So since 20, I got this award for the first time in April 2017, and for first couple of years, my category was Office 365 apps and services, especially SharePoint. And since 2019, I changed my category to AI. And right now, I work as senior solution architect at Witham Digital, where I use a variety of the products and services in Microsoft ecosystem, starting from Microsoft 365, SharePoint, Teams, Power Platform, Azure, especially Azure Logic Apps, bots, and Azure AI. And we build a lot of automations. And as I mentioned, I worked at Witham's Washington DC office. And this is the quick introduction about our company. We have done 100 plus Microsoft Cloud deployments. We have two Microsoft MVPs on the staff. We have 50 plus consultants dedicated to Microsoft ecosystem only. And we are providing services in Microsoft ecosystem from last 17 years. And these are some of the capabilities that we have in the group that I work for. So Witham is a big company. We have services in advisory, tax and audit, and I work in Witham's advisory division, where I focus on business process automation. And we are hiring. We are looking for a lot of talented folks, especially the senior SharePoint developers, architects, senior Power Platform developers and architects, full stack developers, quality assurance professionals, Power BI consultants, and many more. And those positions are in Bangalore, India office, various offices throughout the US, and you can be remote as well. So if you are interested in hearing about all these opportunities, do reach out to me. My email address is here, and also it's mentioned on various all the slides as well. And as I mentioned, if you are interested in joining us for future conferences, do check us out on meetup.com. So this is going to be the agenda today. We will start with brief introduction of Power Automate in case if you're not familiar with Power Automate. Then we'll also have the brief introduction of Logic Apps, and then we spend majority of the time talking about the key differences between Power Automate and Logic Apps, when to use when and when to use other. Then we also talk about how we can extend Microsoft Flow or Power Automate using Logic Apps. I will talk about best practices, demos, key takeaways, and Q&A. I am using dual monitor here. So if you have any questions, feel free to post them in the chat window, or throughout the talk, feel free to unmute yourself and ask your questions as well. I'll be periodically monitoring the chat window to make sure I'm answering. I'm taking. I'm to make sure I'm not missing any a question here. All right. So now let's talk about quick 2-minute introduction about Power Automate in case you're not familiar with it or you have heard about it, but you have not played with Power Automate at all. So Power Automate is part of Microsoft Power Platform. And Microsoft Power Platform is a low-code platform that spans across Microsoft 65, Dynamics 65, Azure, and standalone application. One of the first member of the Power Platform was Power BI, and later on Microsoft launched Power Apps and Power Automate. The earlier name of Power Automate was Microsoft Flow. And recently, 2 years before, Microsoft also launched Power Virtual Agent, which we use to build intelligent chatbots. And all the data that is associated with Power Platform, like the backend data, gets stored in Dataverse, and we can use Dataverse as our data storage as well, along with SharePoint and Azure SQL. And there are a lot of data connectors available, and there are a lot of AI services available as part of AI Builder as well. And Power Automate offers us the holistic end-to-end intelligent automation platform. And this is the mission statement or the vision of Power Automate, they where the people should have to focus only on the task where they can bring unique human values. Like the potential of humans are limitless, but their time is not, and that's where Power Automate comes into picture. And these are the value pillars of Power Automate. Like we will have automation at scale, we will have seamless secure integration. Power Automate can help you to accelerate the productivity, and we can also build intelligent automation using Power Automate. So there are more than 300 app connectors are available. Now, what does an app connector means? An app connector means using a Power Automate, I can add automation for various products and services. For example, I can build automation for SharePoint. I can build automation for Microsoft Team. I can build automation for Google Drive. I can build for Dropbox, Salesforce, Amazon, AWS. Likewise, there are like more than 300 app connectors are available. That includes on-premise applications as well. And you can also build your own connector as well. For example, if you have any legacy system or if you have any proprietary on-premise system that you would like to integrate with on Power Automate, we can do that as well. And there are a lot of templates available. Templates are a good way to get started with Power Automate. In case you are totally new to Power Automate, I recommend you to go and play with the templates, because templates will give you an idea how this product works, how you can configure various automation, how the connections work, how the business logic works, and what are some of the actions you have. And once you get familiar, or once you get pro, I recommend you to refer the templates, but not to use templates blindly. The reason I'm saying that is the Power Automate, there are like constant upgrades that happens. But what happens is if a template is created and if the template is using the version 1 of a particular action, and let's say there is a version 2 of that action is available, the chances are the template may not get updated in appropriate time. It may take a while to get that template updated. So I personally, what I do is, if I'm not familiar with how to implement certain kind of automation, I look at the template, I see what kind of steps I have to configure, but I always start with a blank template and then add the required steps. So that way I will always make sure I always use the latest and greatest actions that are available there. This was the 2-minute introduction of the Power Automate. Now let's talk about what are Azure Logic Apps. So Azure Logic Apps is a cloud service, and it's a part of Microsoft Azure, where you can build and automate the business processes. It's nothing but basically a workflow engine in Microsoft Azure. It's built on serverless principle, and it uses the containerized runtime. Again, we don't have to worry about it because Microsoft is in charge of running it in the backend and hosting it in the backend. Just like Power Automate, it can scale up automatically to meet the demand. And it allows the developers to not to worry about hosting, scaling, and availability. All we have to worry about is building our business logic, that is automation, and the rest of the stuff will be taken care of by Microsoft here. There are many connectors available, and that connector spans across cloud offerings as well as on-premise. And everything begins with the trigger. Now, if you look at this description, and if you look at the image in this right-hand side, the image of the Logic App Designer and the description of the Logic App sounds very similar to Power Automate. Now let's take a look how these two products are connected to related to each other. As I mentioned, Logic Apps begins with trigger. When it comes to the trigger, we have time-based triggers. Like for example, we can start a Logic App on a specific time. We can also have event-based triggers like the created, updated, deleted. We have variety of actions available and the connectors and those actions can span across the cloud offerings, various cloud offerings and the on-premises data as well. Now let's see how these two products are related to each other. So if you look at the Microsoft overall, so Azure is Microsoft's public cloud offering. And inside Azure, we have Logic Apps, which is nothing but a workflow engine in Azure. Now, back in 2016, what Microsoft did is they launched a product called Microsoft Flow as part of a Power Platform. And that product Microsoft Flow was built on the top of Logic Apps. And initially, all the features that were available in in Microsoft Flow were available in Logic Apps. But over the course of time, the few additional features in the Power Automate got added. For example, right now, the designer of Power Automate and Logic App is pretty identical. A lot of actions that are there in Power Automate and Logic Apps are pretty identical. The triggers that we have are pretty much identical in Logic Apps and Power Automate. However, over the course of last 5 years, the Power Automate has added his own features which are exclusive to Power Automate only. For example, business process flows, cloud flows, which is the new name of Microsoft Flow now, the desktop flows, which is the RPA offering under Power Automate, and additional actions like SharePoint approvals. Now, all these things are only available in Power Automate. Those are not available in Logic Apps. And Logic Apps also has its own actions and other features that are only available in Logic Apps and not Power Automate. But what we are interested in is this common ground here, where there are a lot of actions and a lot of triggers which are available in both the products. And using that, we can build a very complicated enterprise grade automations. And we're going to talk about if you have to build any automation in future, then how you can evaluate like how these two products can help you, and you can then decide which product to use when. As I mentioned, Power Automate is built on the top of Logic App. So if you look at the flow runtime, it basically behind the scene, it uses the Logic App runtime itself. The Logic App runtime calls the Azure API management. And then if you are using any external service like the Office 365 or Dropbox, then it communicates with that. But if you are running a flow, then in behind the scene, Microsoft is using the Logic App runtime. If you're running the Logic App, Microsoft is using a Logic App runtime. So runtime for both the flow and Logic App is the same. Now, if you look at the screen, and again, you can write your answers in the chat window. Please let me know. Like I have this two screenshot here. For one screenshot is of a flow or Power Automate. Another screenshot is of a Logic App. Now, please let me know in the chat window. What do you think? Which one is which? What's the number one? Whether it's a Power Automate or Logic App? Can you just type that in the chat window? Anyone would like to take a guess which one is which?
The left side is Logic Apps.
Okay, how did you guess it?
There is a new step and save.
Okay, yeah, that's a good one. I should have hide that. Okay, so you're right. So if I hide the top ribbon and the sidebar, you can see here. So the left one is Power Automate, the right one is the Logic App. But if you look at this, the designer is pretty much identical. The actions that we are using is pretty much identical. That means if you are familiar with Power Automate, that means you know a lot about Logic App already. It's just the way that to use Logic Apps, you had to go to a different portal. To use Power Automate, you had to go to a different URL. So now let's dive deep into the differences. So one of the key differences between this product is Logic App is part of the Azure group. and Power Automate is part of the Business Apps group, which is a Dynamics group. Now you may be wondering why I'm specifying this here, right? The reason is if you look at Microsoft ecosystem, we can divide Microsoft ecosystem or the products offerings in Microsoft into three categories. One is the Azure, which is their public cloud. Then under productivity, we have Microsoft 365, where Teams and SharePoint comes and Exchange comes. And the third one is Power Apps group, Power Platform group, or the Dynamics group, where we have Dynamics 65 and other Power Platform product. And if you see, uh, if a specific product is part of, let's say, Azure group, then that product or service will have really good integration with the Azure services. Similarly, if you see any product which is part of the Power Platform group, that product or service will have really good integration with other Power Platform products or services. Same thing with Microsoft 65. So that's why knowing this difference can help you to understand, in case you're wondering, okay, I can do certain things in Power Automate. Why cannot I do the same things in Logic Apps? The reason is since they are part of the different product groups, each product group will have their own uh, priorities when it comes to implementing the feature set, and some priorities, some features get preferred in one group versus the other group. Then the second is uh, Logic Apps is the iPaaS offering, whereas Power Automate is a software as a service offering. And the subscription or the pricing of Logic App is pay as per the usage, just like everything in Azure. Whereas Power Automate is subscription based, and Logic Apps target audience is IT pros and developers, whereas Power Automate is built for power users or citizen developers. When it comes to the Logic app, we can only create Logic apps if you go with the Logic apps portal. However, under Power Automate, we have Cloud Flows, which is a new name for Microsoft Flow now. We can create business process flows, and we can also create a desktop flows, which is an RPA offering under Power Automate. The run duration, which is very, very critical to keep in mind. So the maximum run duration you can get in Logic Apps is 90 days. Whereas in Power Automate, the maximum run duration you can get is 30 days. Now, this is a key difference. You should always keep that in mind because based on your run duration, based on this knowledge, you should always, because this factor comes really, really important, especially if you are implementing an automation, and that automation may have a shelf life of more than, let's say, 30 days or more. In that case, you have to uh, basically keep that 30 days duration in mind, and then rework your business logic according to that. When it comes to the application lifecycle management, since Logic App is part of Azure Group, there is a really good integration story available with Azure DevOps regarding source control, testing, support, automation, and also manageability in Azure Resource Group. Whereas when it comes to application lifecycle management, that story is not really fully baked when it comes to the Power Platform product. It is getting better, but it is not as enterprise grade as what you get with other Azure products. When it comes to the PowerShell commandlets, we have different models available for Logic Apps. We have to use Azure rm.logicapp model, whereas to use PowerShell with Power Automate, you have to use two modules. One is Microsoft.PowerApps.administration .PowerShell, and second is Microsoft.PowerApps.PowerShell. And you can find more information about these two modules going to this particular link. Now, when it comes to the trigger, so manual trigger is available uh, in both Logic Apps and Power Automate. The event based, which is create, update, and delete, it is available at both. However, and schedule is also available at both. However, Power Automate has additional trigger, which is location based. And there are really good, cool scenarios you can build using the location based trigger in Power Automate. Now, when it comes to the setup and installation, if you have to build a Logic app, you can use a modern browser. And there is also a code view available when it comes to the Logic App Designer. That means if you don't want to do drag and drop, you can write your Logic app using JSON as well. Uh, and also you can use Visual Studio for your development. Like if you would like to develop your Logic app first in Visual Studio, you can do that, and later on you can deploy that to the Azure. Whereas for Power Automate, we can only do that using the modern browser only. When it comes to the SharePoint, right? So there are no inbuilt SharePoint flows available with Logic Apps, whereas the built-in SharePoint flows are available with Power Automate. If you had to create an automation for SharePoint using Logic Apps, I had to first go to the Logic App portal or Logic App Designer. There I had to specify the trigger and then implement my business logic. Whereas in case of Power Automate, I have two options. Either I can start from the modern SharePoint UI directly, or I can start from Power Automate UI as well. Now, what does the modern SharePoint UI means? So if you open a list or library using modern experience, there in the ribbon, you will get this option of Power Automate or Automate. And if you expand that, then you can just click use these options and you can start creating your flows right from the SharePoint UI. Similarly, we also have that options available in the Teams UI as well. That is available as part of
તમારે
Dataverse for Teams.
માઇક્રોસોફ્ટ ટીમ્સનું એક સેમિનાર એટેન્ડ કરવું છે
Looks like
ફ્લોનું
we need to
હું
mute
એક લિંક આપ
someone.
જોઈ લો 10-15 મિનિટ.
Yes, Prashant, I did that. Sorry.
Okay,
Go ahead.
thank you. All right. Where I was, yes. So one of the option I didn't list in the Power Automate is we can also create Power Automate directly from the Teams UI now, and that is available as part of the Dataverse for Teams. So I need to keep that slide updated. Any questions so far before we go to the next section?
Can you compare with the cost?
Yeah, I will cover that in the next slide. Apart from cost,
Okay.
any other question or comment?
Okay, I have a questions like, I need to execute some PowerShell command through Azure Active Directory, maybe
Okay.
related to that Azure automations.
Mhm.
So in that case, and the information as an input should be passed from the SharePoint. So,
Okay.
so what would you recommend me, whether I should use Power Automate or Logic App, considering cost as well?
Okay, so I will give you answer in the next slide when there is like information about there. But if I somehow forget that, please remind me. In that particular slide, I'll be talking about the cost and the HTTP action. Okay,
Sure,
but a
Prashant,
good one.
thank you.
Any other question?
Hi, Prashant. How about the connectors? For example, like it's both having connect with SharePoint, similar like other like custom solutions or like SQL or SAP integrations, something like that. What is the limitations? Do we have anything compare with this both of them?
So some connectors are free, some connectors are premium, and again, it's very hard for me to keep track of which are free and which are not. But when you try to add a connector that connect during addition of that step itself, you will know whether that connector is free or premium. And you have to basically read the documentation from Logic Apps and the Power Automate, because there are more than 300 connectors are there. But if you look at the generic list, the common connectors like the SharePoint, the OneDrive, the Google Drive, the Dropbox, the Box, the other things are free connectors. But some of them may be the premium connectors. You just have to check the documentation. Okay, someone else also had a question.
Yeah, Prashant. I wanted to ask that in Power Automate, we have API limits which are based on the type of license we use.
Mhm.
So how does that works with Logic Apps? Can we go for a higher
Okay.
level of API call?
Excellent question. Again, this question also I will address during the cost. Okay. All right. So I have two questions I had to keep in mind when we talk about the cost. Okay. Anything else? Any other question?
In Power Apps, there are some limitations for a timeout in a loop kind of in a loop applied to each, right? So is it same or is a difference? As you said, 30 days, 90 days. That difference I got. But similar to that, for loops applied to each, is there any difference?
Those are pretty much identical in Power Automate and Logic Apps.
Okay. Okay.
Right. So moving on. So both supports the on-premise gateway. That what does the on-premise gateway means? Let's say if you have on-premise SharePoint and you would like to implement automation for that using Logic App, all you need to do is you need to install the on-premise gateway in your SharePoint infrastructure. And then once you implement that, then you can go to Logic App portal, and then you can make a connection to your on-premise SharePoint site and implement the automation over there. Same thing we can do with Power Automate with the caveat though. If you go with Power Automate, you need to have an additional premium license, whereas you don't need an additional premium license if you go with the Logic Apps to connect to the on-premise gateway. Now let's take a look at the pricing. Now this is where things get a little bit interesting, and this sometimes is the driving force which one to use when, especially if you are coming from the Microsoft 365 background. Like if you are getting Power Automate through Microsoft 365, this slide can decide which product you may end up using. So the licensing or the pricing for Logic App is very simple. Everything is based on the consumption, just like in Azure. So pay as you go. And if you look at the Azure Logic App pricing calculator, it's very cheap. Depending on like if you go with our typical scenarios where I need to start automation when let's say a new document is uploaded or a new item is created. If you want to go with that, and if you let's say roughly say your Logic App will run for 30 times a week or something like that, or let's say 300 times a lead, still you're not looking at really big bill. Maybe maximum you may be looking at let's say $10 per month or $20 per month. Whereas Power Automate is subscription based. So we have various options when it comes to the Power Automate. We can get Power Automate free. To get Power Automate free, all you need is a Microsoft account like a live.com account or a hotmail.com account or outlook.com account. We can also get Power Automate as part of our Microsoft 365 subscription, where we don't have to pay any additional cost. The cost for Microsoft 365 subscription already covers the free version of Power Automate for that. We can also get Power Automate with Dynamics 365 subscription. We can also sign up for Power Automate Premium per user plan, Power Automate Premium per flow plan, and Power Automate per user plan with attended RPA. Now, one thing that you have to keep in mind is if you go with Power Automate with M365 subscription, then the HTTP action or trigger is a premium action. Now the same action is already included as part of your Power Automate with Dynamics 65 and rest of the three premium plans. Now where does HTTP comes into picture is, so let's say if we need to use HTTP action in case you would like to call Microsoft Graph APIs from Power Automate. In case you would like to call any external APIs, let's say you have your own proprietary APIs that you would like to call from Power Automate. For that, you need to use HTTP action. If you would like to call Azure function from Power Automate, you have to use Azure functions HTTP action for that. If you would like to call Azure Logic Apps from Power Automate, for that also you have to use HTTP action. Now coming back to someone asked, one of the attendees asked the question, they would like to run some Azure commands as part of automation, and the input should come from SharePoint. So in that case, if you implement the automation using Power Automate, and if your Power Automate license is part of your M365 subscription, then the HTTP action that you will need to call, let's say, Azure function to execute the PowerShell commandlets, that is going to be a premium action. That means you have to go with the premium plans. That can be a premium per flow plan or per user plan. However, instead of that, what you can do is you can, since you are going to execute the PowerShell commandlets against Azure anyway, instead of going with Power Automate, you go with Logic Apps. You have your connector, you establish the connection with your SharePoint site so that you can get some inputs from SharePoint. And then the Logic App then can call Azure function, and then Azure function can then execute the PowerShell commandlet for you. Now, in this case, the cost will be very, very minimum. We just have to pay. You just have to open up the Azure pricing calculator, where it will be less. It will be a lot less as compared to, let's say, per flow plan or per user plan. And there was another question. Now I'm forgetting what question was that, and it's also related to the pricing. Was it related to the HTTP trigger or action as well?
The API calls.
Oh yeah, thank you. Thanks for reminding that. Now, Power Automate also, if you are using Power Automate as part of Microsoft 365 subscription, there are some API limitations. I definitely recommend you to read that up. And those limitations are not that strict if you go with the premium version of the Power Automate. However, you won't be seeing those kind of API limitations with Logic Apps. The reason is everything is based on your consumption. That means if your Logic App is getting executed more, if it's consuming more resources, then you just have to pay for that. So that's where, for more enterprisey or complicated scenario, instead of going with the premium license of Flow or Power Automate, we personally prefer going with Logic Apps because more than like 80 or 90% of the time, it comes a lot cheaper as compared to going with the premium plan with Power Automate. Now, there is one big difference in case you are getting Power Automate license as part of Dynamics 365. Like if you're a Dynamics 365 customer and if you're getting Power Automate through that, then a lot of premium features are already covered into that license. And the reason is, again, if you go back 4 or 5 slides, Dynamics 365 and Power Platform is part of the same group. Logic App is part of the Azure group. So there is always that small things you'll notice, like, okay, if a product is part of a big umbrella, then they have a really nice integration story where if the products are from different groups, then some things are not that straightforward or are a little bit complicated. Let me know if you have any additional questions on this topic before we move into the next section. All right, I take that as a no. Now, as I mentioned, Power Automate is built on the top of Logic Apps. So there is a really good integration story available where, let's say you start with Power Automate and now you implemented your business logic, and now suddenly, or let me go back. Now, let's say you are getting Power Automate as part of your Microsoft 365 license. You implement some automation, and now you have to use HTTP action in your cloud flow. And now that HTTP action is premium, and you have two options. Either you sign up for the premium license of Power Automate, or you can convert your flow into a Logic App. And there is a out of the box option available for that, where if you go to the Flow UI or Power Automate UI, and if you click for this export button, there you will see two options. One is, the top one is Logic App template, and the second is a package. So if you go with Logic App template, then we get a JSON file that we can use and then go to Azure portal, and you can deploy that flow as a Logic App. However, a couple of things you should keep in mind. When we do that, we have to, let's say, export a flow and then import that into a Logic App, what happens is you have to configure the connections again. And if any action is not, or a trigger that is not available in Logic App, you have to basically delete that from your automation and include something else. And I'll show you that during the demo section, where I have exact same kind of implementation or automation implemented. One is in Logic App, second is in Power Automate. However, there is a slight difference, and I will talk about that. So now let's talk about the integration between Logic Apps and Power Automate, like how we can integrate. That means how we can call one from another. So let's say if I had to call a flow or a Power Automate from Logic App, I just have to use HTTP action. And again, all these actions are not premium per se, because everything is consumption based in Logic Apps. I can call a Logic App from Power Automate using HTTP action. And as I mentioned, if you're getting Power Automate through Microsoft 365 license, HTTP action is a premium action. Or the second option is I can export a flow and deploy as a Logic App. Now let's talk about how is the story with Power Virtual Agents. So Power Virtual Agents is a product of Power Platform, and we can use Power Virtual Agents to create intelligent chatbots or intelligent no-code chatbots. So if I had to call a Logic App from Power Virtual Agent, the first thing I need to do is I need to call a Power Automate, and from that Power Automate, then I had to call a Logic App. So I had to cross a lot of hoops over there. Whereas if I had to call a Power Automate, that story is really well baked. I can directly call a Power Automate from our Power Virtual Agent. And the reason is both Power Automate and Power Virtual Agent is part of the same product group, which is Power Platform. So if I had to compare these two products, right, like on different features, so this is how I can lay out the comparison. So in case of licensing, Logic Apps licensing is a little bit straightforward because it's part of Azure. Again, you won't know the cost upfront. That's why I haven't given it like 100 marks. I had just given like 75%, where you had to use Logic App like or Azure pricing calculator and find out how much it's going to cost you. But still, it's a lot cheaper as compared to some of the premium plans that comes with Power Automate. And Power Automate licensing is a little bit it's very confusing. You have to basically read a lot of documentation, and there are a lot of caveats there, small caveats that decides whether you already have that in your as part of your uh, Microsoft 365 license or you have to go with premium license. When it comes to personal automation, Power Automate is the best because Power Automate comes with a free version. That means you can use Power Automate with your personal Microsoft account, like the live.com account or outlook.com account or msn.com account, and you can build a lot of personal automation scenarios without an additional cost. Whereas everything in Logic Apps is based on consumption. So if you are planning to build any kind of automation, you will have a charge. That charge will maybe a small, let's say one less than $1 a month, but still it's additional money that you have to pay. When it comes to the power user friendly, Logic Apps are not power user friendly. The reason for that is you had to first go to Azure portal and then you had to configure your Logic App first. And the designer, once you come into the designer, that's where you feel like, okay, I'm that more look like a Power Automate. However, to reach that point, I have seen a lot of power users get lost or they find it too difficult because navigating through Azure portal is not that easy for a lot of power users. Whereas Power Automate is power user friendly. If you are in a boat, in your situation where you are a power user and you're not familiar with Azure at all, but you need to use Logic App. In that case, what you can do is you can request your IT admins or your other developers like to create a Logic App for you. And once the Logic App is created for you, then you can go inside the designer, and then you can start implementing your business logic. That way you can still implement your business logic, but you are outsourcing the creation part to someone else who's more familiar with the Azure portal. When it comes to the developer friendly, Logic Apps won hands down here because there is a really good integration story available as part of application lifecycle management with Azure DevOps and with Visual Studio as well. Integration with third-party system, both products have the similar offerings or similar connectors. And overall, both the products are good. It's just like you should know which one to use when. And even if Logic App is part of Azure, still there will be some scenarios where the cost of using Logic App will be a lot less as compared to going with the premium plan with the Power Automate. With that, let's go to the demo section now. So before I go to the demos, let me know if you have any questions or comments so far. Okay, I take that as a no. All right. So the demo I have is very simple. Let me zoom this a bit. So I have a SharePoint list, and we use this list to submit the request to create a new team in the organization. And when the request gets submitted, that request go through an approval. And if the request is approved, then we use Microsoft Graph API to create this team automatically. Now, I have implemented this automation using two scenarios. Scenario number one is we use Power Automate for this automation. Scenario number two is we use Logic App for this automation. So what I will do is I will quickly submit two requests real quick. So let's call it as M365 Pune. And this one is for sales. And let's put a department as sales here. And the automation scenario by default is Microsoft Flow. Let's go with that. Let's save this and let's submit another one here. And this time I will be using department as marketing. And the automation scenario I'll be selecting as a logic app. Again, the reason I have this drop down here is because I wanted to show you how like the same thing works in two different products. So what this particular drop down does is if I use logic app, then the creation of the team and approval will happen via logic app. If I use the Microsoft Flow, then the creation and the approval will happen through Microsoft Flow here. So just click on save here. All right, so one is for marketing, one is for sales. And the way I'm creating the team is if the request gets approved, then the name we are using for the team is the combination of the title and the department here. Now let's first take a look at the implementation of the flow here or the cloud flow here. So the flow we are using is called SP team request approval. And if I click and edit to it, the implementation is pretty straightforward. The trigger is whenever a new request is added to the SharePoint list, start this particular flow. Then if you're not familiar with how to call Microsoft Graph API, it's OK. If you're not familiar with how to register an application with Azure AD, it's OK. It's just a bunch of steps we have to do. So here what I'm doing is I'm initializing 3 variables in the beginning. And these variables is one is for Azure AD application ID, then directory tenant ID, and third is the client secret. And then we are having a condition here, depending on the automation scenario. If the automation scenario we have selected is Microsoft Flow, then we are starting with the SharePoint approval here. And if the request gets approved, then we are using this HTTP action here. And inside the HTTP action, we are using Microsoft Graph API to create the team. So the implementation is pretty straightforward here. Now, same thing I have implemented using, let's say, a flow here. And for the flow, as you can see, I had to go to the Azure portal. And if I click edit here, so this is the same business logic using the Logic App Designer. But Logic App Designer also give me the code view. So in case if I would like to write the code using JSON, I can do that. And you may be wondering why we need to use that. There are some scenarios where you will want to use the code view. Like recently, I worked on a really big implementation of Logic App where the Logic App was so big. If you do anything with the designer, we were having some issues and we had to rely on the code view to implement a lot of changes in it. And again, the implementation is same. It starts when a new item is created in that particular list. Then we initialize bunch of variables. Then we have a condition here where if the automation scenario is Logic App, then we are using a different kind of approval here. So remember, not all steps or actions that are available in Power Automate are available in Logic App. So SharePoint approval is not available in Logic App. So here I'm using a different kind of approval. It is called the email-based approval. So I'm using that. And if the request get approved, then rest of the stuff is pretty identical where I'm using an HTTP action. And here I'm calling the Microsoft Graph APIs and implement this HTTP action is pretty identical to what we have in Microsoft Flow here. So with that, let me see if the approval has started for this or not. And for that, let me first go to my inbox and let me open the emails. So I should have received 2 emails in my inbox. One is from the Logic App, one is from the Power Automate. All right. So the first one I got is from the Power Automate. It still says by Microsoft Flow, by the way. And I think in near future, Microsoft will change that to Power Automate. So if I open this email, so since I'm using SharePoint approval here or the Flow approval, I have 2 options to approve this. I can either approve this using the email here. So if I scroll down, I can either use the email here. And you can see here, like if you had to see from where the email has came, like you can find out, OK, it came from Power Automate, or you can find out who the sender is. So I can either take action here, or if I go to the Power Apps or the Power Automate UI, there I can see that under action items. So if I go to the under action items here.
Prashant, I guess we lost your audio. Is it only me or?
Can you still hear?
Yes, same for me.
Same
Same for
here.
me. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Prashant, if you can hear us, we lost your audio.
Hello?
Yes, you are back now.
Okay. Can you still hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Yes.
Perfect,
Yes,
perfect. So okay, give me a
Yes.
minute. I think everything is coming back. Sorry about that technical glitch. It was from my side. All right, so I was showing the Microsoft Flow.
Yeah, I think you might want to share your screen again.
Okay. All right, let me go back to the call, share the screen. And how are we doing with the time? We have 12 more minutes or less than that?
Yes, we have 10 to 12 more minutes, unless people have questions.
Okay, all right, so I'll be quick. All right, sorry about that. Okay, so we are back. So here in the Power Automate, I have two options to take action on my approvals. So either I can open the email or I can go here and take action on that. So here I will take the action using the Power Automate approvals here. So I'll go click the approve, click confirm. And if everything is right, then we should see a new team with M65 Pune name when it gets created. In the meantime, I will go back to my inbox and I will open the email that we got from the Logic app. So the email we got from the Logic app is this one, and you can see here this email came from the Logic app. However, since we use the email approval and not the Power Automate approval, the only option we have to approve to take action is via email here. So if I click approve here, then the Logic app will go with the existing business logic and create the team for us. Now let's go back to this particular flow and see whether the execution was successful or not. So as you can see here, this one ran successfully. Post approval, it went through the steps and it created a team here. And same thing, let's check with the Logic app. So if I go with the Logic app here, and if I refresh this, and if I open this instance here, then I should see that post email approval, it also went fine and created the team for us. Now let's go back to our Teams UI and see if these two teams got created or not. So let me see here in the notification. Yes, there are two teams created. One is marketing and second one is sales. So let's take a look at in the Teams UI. So you can see here the first one, which is sales M65 Pune got created. And the second one is the marketing M65 Pune got created. So as you can see, we can implement similar business logic in both the products. However, let's me show you one thing real quick, which will decide which one to use when, especially since we are calling the Microsoft Graph APIs here. So if I go here inside my Power Automate, and if I click on plus and add action, and if I search for HTTP, you'll see that the HTTP is a premium action. That means to use HTTP, I need to have a premium version of Power Automate. And typically, or that is not available in your Power Automate license if you are getting Power Automate license through Microsoft 365. So that's one of the key thing you have to keep in mind. Like if you need to use any kind of action which is premium action, then just check whether that action is available in Logic Apps or not. And chances are, if it is available, then you better off, like you end up saving a lot of money if you go with the Logic App as compared to signing for the premium license that comes with Power Automate. Here I would like to pause and see if you have any questions or comments so far.
Prashant, how is the deployment experience for Logic Apps and Power Automate? Any comparison on that front?
Okay, good question. So when it comes to the deployment, right, Power Automate, the if you have to deploy from development to production and other stuff, that story is not that fully baked right now. Like you can still, there are a lot of manual steps you have to do. Whereas if you go with Logic Apps, right, you have multiple options there. You can start creating your Logic Apps using browser, or you can create your Logic App using uh, Visual Studio as well. And you can use take help of some of the automations that come with Azure as well. So if you want to create a ARM template, you can do that to automatically deploy your Logic Apps. You can also use Azure DevOps as well to automatically deploy the changes to your Logic Apps. So there, the application lifecycle management story is really well baked as compared to the Power Platform. Power Platform is getting there, but it's not still there or as robust as what we get with some of the services we have in Azure.
So the Power Platform has a DLP policies to secure the business data. Do we have a similar thing in Logic Apps?
Logic Apps also we have similar things, but you need to fiddle with Azure resources over there. Like the concept is basically same. Like if you would like to limit what kind of actions or what kind of trigger or what kind of connectors you can use, yes, the way you do that is different in both the products, but both the products have that capability.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. One question, Prashant.
Mm-hmm.
What is the permission with respect to Logiwave and Power Automate will work?
Permission in the sense,
How about
can you elaborate more?
yeah, permission in terms of, like, for example, in how you are sharing the, for example, in terms of with end user, or you can say with organization user. So how it differs actually? Will there be any kind of a difference the way we are sharing, or how?
So excellent question. Go here and edit. I can share this with users or other Office 365 groups, or I can share if it's connected to a SharePoint list, I can share that with a SharePoint list as well. So if someone is has access to SharePoint list, automatically they get access to this flow as well, or Microsoft or Power Automate as well. Now, if you had to do the similar thing with Logic Apps, then the way to do that is using the resource groups. So if we go, I don't know, like how familiar are you with Logic Apps or not? Where
I know actually the Azure part. So yes.
Okay, so basically when you create the Logic App, you have to specify the resource group. And let's say if you would like to share only with few selected people, the way we do it is we create a separate resource group where we invite, let's say 5 or 6 people, and then they will have access to only the resources which are in that specific resource group, and the resources can be your Logic App or anything else which you are using for the automation. So that way you can share that.
Okay, yes, that's good. Thank you. Yeah.
All right. Any other question or comment?
Prashant, I have a question. Thank you so much for the, your wonderful sessions. It helped me to understand many things. In my I'm working on something which is like I'm just automating the many manual process. Okay, and in this process, like there are many activities that is easily possible with Power Automate, and there I'm using SharePoint Online REST APIs. Okay,
Okay.
But there are scenarios where you need to integrate your applications with different teams. For example, when some site is getting created, you need to register a incident into kind of a ServiceNow applications, or maybe Okta, or maybe XYZ applications. So for that, I have used HTTP trigger action.
Okay.
Right. So now consider I have more than 20,000 users. And not every user is going to use my applications. But even if I consider like 5,000, that is going to be a big amount. So here I want to understand that how I can, make a good amalgamation of Power Automations as well as the Logic app. So instead of using HTTP trigger of Power Automate, I should use the Logic app, that HTTP function.
Okay.
So would you help me?
All right. So excellent question. So basically, you would like to divide your automation. Some part you would like to do with Power Automate, and some part you would like to do with Logic apps, right? Because of the cost. That's a pretty common scenario. A lot of like consultants or a lot of developers that I work with do that. So basically, the tricky part is you have to decide when exactly your Logic app should get triggered. You can be creative there. Like if I had to oversimplify the things, you can just have a flag in your SharePoint list saying Power Automate is done, or let's say it's a flag like Logic app, please start, or something like that. We can just be creative. Have a flag, let's say yes or no. And then your Logic app starts every time a change happened to your SharePoint list. And if that flag is yes, then you go with HTTP action and then call your ServiceNow APIs. If that flag is no, then your Logic app just ends. Like that's a very oversimplified version of some of the scenarios you can build. So that's the thing, you have to figure it out like exactly in what steps in your automation you will be calling the Logic app. Because if you would like to call directly from your flow the Logic app, then you have to use again HTTP action, which is a
right. Okay, thank you so much. I got the answers. I will, I will use the flag.
Another thing you can do is you can run your Logic app on a schedule where periodically every 5 minutes it runs. It pulls the SharePoint list items and then you have a flag, and depending on the flag in that list item metadata, you then decide whether to call ServiceNow API or not. So there are multiple ways where you can type things.
Yeah, cool. Yeah.
Okay.
I got the idea. So thank you so much again. Yeah.
Okay, any other question? Because I know we're coming towards the end.
No,
all right.
Thank you so much.
So I will basically skip this part because these are pretty straightforward. Once I share the slide, if you read them, you will basically get those. Like all the best practices for the Flow and Logic apps are pretty identical. One thing I want to highlight is in case you don't have access to your personal Microsoft 365 developer tenant, do check out the really good program from Microsoft because through this program, you get your personal Microsoft 365 developer subscription with E5 licenses with 25 users. And here you also get Power Automate, you get Power Apps as well. And if you are using this tenant for development, Microsoft will graciously increase your trial period for additional 90 days, and they will continue doing it as long as you're using this tenant for personal training and development. So this is a really good way to get that. And in case you would like to have your personal Azure subscription, there are multiple ways to get that. One of the preferred way is if you have a MSDN subscription through your organization, go on your MSDN portal and check whether you have access to Azure credits or not. If you do have, definitely activate that so you get the fixed credits per month for free. With that, hopefully the content we covered today made you familiar with the key differences between Power Automate and Logic apps. And in case you don't have access to Microsoft 365 developer program, do use this link and sign up for that. So these are the things we covered today. With that, thank you very much for joining us today. So these are my contact details. If you have any further questions, feel free to email me or contact me on LinkedIn or Twitter. And with that, we are concluding because we are running out of time. So thank you very much for coming, and I'll be active on chat window. In case you have any follow-up question, do ping me on the chat window. Thank you. Thanks everyone. Thanks for joining, and stay safe and stay healthy.